One of the concepts that we've talked about in the podcast and I've written about is this idea of an anti-library. What's an anti-library? Well, it's an idea that was written about by, well, at least where I heard it from, Nicholas Taleb, the Black Swan guy. He wrote the book Black Swan, right? He also wrote this book called Anti-Fragile, which I would strongly recommend to a friend. He does talk about other things that are not anti this or that. But anyway, anti-library was not in Anti-Fragile. Nonetheless, the idea with an anti-library is if you ever hear of a book or see a book that you think could be of some value at some point in time, don't think about it. Just get it. Buy it. You don't have to read it right away. And quite frankly, you'd rather have a library, like I do, but there's a lot of books out there that I haven't read. Some of them I've bought an awfully long time ago. 5, 7, 10. I bet I have some that I haven't read that I bought 15 years ago. And that's okay. Sooner or later, the time is right. I'll be able to grab it and use it. And I do that all the time. So the idea is of an anti-library is the books that you own that you have not read are more valuable than the books that you own that you have read, right? You're not trying to impress people at the end of the day. Well, I guess you're kind of trying to impress people. If you impress people along the way, what the hell? That's fine too. So I'm going to give you an extreme example of this. I buy a lot of books. That's why I have books behind me. I have books over there. And soon, real soon, all of this is going to be books as well. So I'm a big believer in this. And of all the ways that I spend money, a lot of them are a lot worse than buying books that can, sooner or later, hopefully, make me slightly more intelligent, help someone else get through something, and be a better human being. So here's the idea. I stumbled across a syllabus for David Foster Wallace, fantastic author, who wrote a book called Infinite Jest, which is one of the best books, supposedly. It's incredibly long, incredibly dense. It's hard to get through. It's well over 1,000 pages. I've tried multiple times, have not done it yet. Anyway, Infinite Jest is kind of this famous book that people are known for exclaiming from the rooftops on social media if they have finished it. But anyway, he's a fantastic writer. Unfortunately, he committed suicide in 2008. Being from Illinois, I know that he grew up in Urbana-Champaign, where the University of Illinois is, and then he taught later at Illinois State University in Normal, Illinois. Anyway, I stumbled across his English 102, Literary Analysis 1, Prose Fiction, Fall of 1994, books you have to buy for this class he was teaching. And thought, well, it's pretty easy. I'm just going to buy all of the books on his list. So he had 8 listed. So you had to read 8 books in his class, and they're going to dissect them. So, and actually his syllabus there already goes into kind of teaching how to be a better writer and things like that. So I said, well, pretty easy. I'm going to go and buy those. So in order, the first book is, and this is a book that I never would have bought on my own, book is Mary Higgins Clark, Where Are the Children? Never would have bought this. I get it, kind of sheepishly. And I started reading the back. I'm going to skip the first paragraph. Now remarried, she has 2 more beloved children, and the terrible pain has begun to heal until the morning when she looks in the backyard for her little boy and girl and finds only one red mitten. She knows that the nightmare is beginning again. What? All right, I'm excited to read this now. I don't know when I will. It's going to the anti-library. So that was the book number 1. Book number 2 was Jackie Collins' Rockstar. I read about it. It was a love story between, I don't know, a groupie and a rock star or something. I'm like, can't do it. So there's 8 of them. I couldn't do that one. However, third one was James Ellroy, The Big Nowhere. All right. Like James Ellroy, read at least one of his other books. Oh, it's been a long time, 20, 25 years ago. So pick that up. Third one, Thomas Harris, Black Sunday. The guy who wrote, also on his list, Silence of the Lambs, which I've seen multiple times, and kind of dug into exactly how they structured the movie and the different scenes and things like that. Lots to learn there. So Silence of the Lambs, this one, Black Sunday. Apparently, it's about a guy who does drugs and has explosives and is on a blimp and is going to crash into a stadium. Those are pretty good. Number 6, Stephen King, Carrie. Haven't seen the movie, haven't read the book. Stephen King's hit or miss with me. Sometimes I read his stuff and I have crazy nightmares and I can't sleep and I can't read his books anymore. Too much information? Maybe. I'm going to give it a whirl with this because David Foster Wallace said so. Number 7, I did not get. I've already read it, I think twice, but it's been a long time. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Not doing it again. And the last one, Lonesome Dove. Classic, Larry McMurtry. I've never read it. A close friend of mine, Andrew Cooper, project manager at Toll Brothers now, scolded me years ago for not having read this. It's by far the greatest book ever. And now that I'm living in Texas, it's kind of, I guess it's probably standard reading material. But anyway, so here's the deal. You can see all these books. They're paperback. I think for these, 6 books? I don't know. I think I paid $32 to get them here in my house, in my anti-library. And David Foster Wallace says you should read these books because they're good books and think about how they're structured. It's good enough for me. So that's an example of the anti-library. If you want to see this as well, you can just Google David Foster Wallace, literary analysis, or Illinois State University, and it'll come right up and you can get it. But that's it. I have no idea when I will dig into these. But I know sooner or later I'm going to have a flight. I'm going on vacation. Something's going to happen. I'm going to grab it and I'll read it. And I will be glad that it's here waiting for me. That's it. That's the anti-library.